As the cloud mania is receding, companies all across the globe are gearing up for cost optimization or FinOps. Now, as AI hype is at its full bloom, companies are also looking to do some AI FinOps because almost all of the production or even development workloads in artificial intelligence run on GPUs, which are quite expensive. No matter how, from which angle and how you look at it, it is expensive. Whether you are using cloud prem, SaaS companies such as AWS SageMaker, or even Google's Vertex AI or anything, that is expensive when you really think about it and scale it up to the API calls. Even if you have OpenAI's API package or any other tooling, and if you embed it into your own data set and your own um, l- large language model, it is expensive. So this will be one of the biggest blocker for small to medium and even large enterprises to start using AI properly. This is where AI FinOps comes into play because we need a solution which is not only efficient but also scalable and cost optimized. So, what could it be? Would it be serverless services such as AWS Lambda or even Google Cloud Run, Google Cloud Functions, or Azure Functions? But the problem is that these serverless services in all of the clouds, they are not AI oriented. Maybe these cloud providers will release lambdas, for example, AWS Lambda running on GPU backend, but that is not the case at the moment, and I haven't heard anything from any cloud provider that they are going to do so. So, what could be done here? Because one of the idea I'm looking at is AI on demand. That as soon as you want to run any AI workload, you will just put it in your AWS Lambda, such as or Azure Cloud Function, run it, and then that's it. So you will be only charged for the amount of time it runs instead of paying all the time for the resources. So you're basically just renting GPUs out. So serverless at the moment is not going to cut it. So could we use something called as auto scaling groups, which are provided by almost all of the cloud providers with different names. The problem with auto scaling group is that they might not be sufficient to scale back, and there's always a warm up period, and then we might be bin packing a lot of various disparate workloads on expensive GPU powered machine, and we might be running different workloads at different times on different models because the requirements are different. So that is not going to cut it really, because I have found out that even auto scaling groups are really clunky for even generic workloads. So what could be the answer here? I believe the technology which could help AI workloads is again Kubernetes. Kubernetes is not only scalable, but also it has scale to zero mechanism with the help of pods and other primitives. Yes, I can understand that Kubernetes is also not ready for AI, but if you want to make any technology AI ready as soon as possible, I believe that instead of serverless or auto scaling groups, it should be Kubernetes, because Kubernetes provides the framework and templates to deploy and manage heavyweight and high level and low level mesh to cater for these AI neural networks. And also, it has all the nuts and bolts in place to queue up the resources and launch a new deployment if an endpoint is not responsive. So I believe that this is the future where we are heading, and Kubernetes is not the relic of past, but it is very much relevant. And if you're worrying and wondering about that, what happens to your investment in learning and getting up to speed with Kubernetes skills, don't worry. I believe that Kubernetes is the platform and the foundation for the future AI. I hope that you like the content. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.